You've heard it 100 times. Spring is the best time to sell. But what if I told you that belief might actually cost you money this year? In this video, I'm going to break down what sellers consistently get wrong about the spring market, especially here in Montreal. We'll talk about what actually drives your final sale price, how timing affects your negotiation power, and why waiting for spring can backfire if you don't know what's coming. If you're thinking about selling this year, don't list blind, let's dig in. Hi, I'm Aguinaga, real estate broker and investor based here in Montreal. I've been working with sellers and buyers and investors for over 18 years now. And one thing I see every year without fail is people holding off on listing because they think that spring guarantees the best results. Here's the truth. It's not about the season. It's about strategy. And if you're selling in 2026, you need more than good weather. You need the right window, the right pricing band, and the right plan for your launch. Let's start with the myth. Spring is when everyone's buying, so it's when I'll get the most money for my home. That statement is partially true. It's true that spring brings more buyers. But you know what else spring brings? More listings, more supply, more competition. And that's what most sellers overlook. What you care about is not how many buyers are in the market. What you care about is how many buyers are looking at your property seriously, and how many competing homes are pulling them away from it. So yes, there's more traffic in April and May, but guess what? It's diluted. Buyers are shopping wider, they're browsing more, they're distracted, and the average home is sitting longer in many price bands, even during hot seasons, if it's not positioned properly. Let me give you a concrete comparison. In late January and early February, buyer activity picks up, especially from people who are relocating, already pre-approved, or looking to move before summer. But inventory is still tight. The number of listings doesn't really spike until late February or even after March break. That means a listing that hits the market in late January has less competition, a more focused buyer pool, and more leverage in negotiation as long as it's priced right and presented well. Now, let's fast forward to spring. In April, listings surge. We see dozens of new homes coming online in the same price bands. That puts pressure on sellers to compete on features, finishes, or price. The same buyer who would have seen just you in January now has 5 options in your area. And when buyers have options, they negotiate harder. Or worse, they could walk. Let's be clear, weather doesn't sell homes. Photos, presentation, pricing band, buyer fit, that's what drives offers. I've sold homes in the middle of February with snowstorms for above asking price, and this is because we hit the right buyer at the right moment, with clean staging, a smart headline, and a pricing strategy that kept us inside a high traffic search filter. On the flip side, I've also seen homes in full spring bloom sit for 30, 45, even 60 days, and that's because the listing was late, the price band was off, or it got buried in a flood of similar homes. The truth is this, you don't need spring, you need strategy and a good team by your side. Let's get even more specific. Inside the spring market, there are micro windows and they matter. In Montreal, March break affects showing traffic, especially for family buyers. Easter shifts, long weekends and school registration deadlines impact move-up buyers trying to lock a home before April or May. So, if you're listing in spring, you need to know when buyers are actually active, when they're on vacation, and when new inventory will surge in your area. Otherwise, you're listing into a ghost week or into a price war. Another thing sellers miss. Spring listings that don't move fast become stale fast. The days on market stats could work against you, especially when buyers are seeing newer, shinier listings come on every single week. If you list in late March and you haven't sold by mid-April, your listing now looks old compared to everything else that's popping up. Buyers ask, why hasn't it sold yet? And that's when the lowball offers come. That's when price drops start. That's when your negotiation power disappears. Spring doesn't save you. If anything, it can expose you. So, if you're a seller right now thinking, should I wait for the spring? Here's what I'd suggest instead. Start by asking, what's your goal? If your goal is to move before summer, you can't wait until April. If your goal is to maximize price, then timing the window to avoid competition matters more than waiting for the grass to turn green. Here's what we're doing for our clients right now. We're prepping photos and video in January while the snow is clean or before the next storm. We're confirming the certificate of location status early so we're not scrambling later. We're choosing the right week to launch based on who the buyers are, not what the calendar says. And if a listing doesn't get traction, we already have a refresh plan ready, a new hero photo, a headline shift, or a band move so that we keep momentum alive. That's the difference between guessing and planning. Here's the truth. Spring can be a great time to sell, but only if your strategy is airtight. If you just assume it'll be fine because it's April, you're gambling with one of the biggest financial assets. Don't gamble, prepare. If you're even thinking about listing in the next 90 days, now is the time to talk. Let's map out your exact launch window, pricing band, and prep checklist so you hit the market with intention, not hope. I strongly suggest you book your 15-minute listing strategy call using the link below. You'll get clarity, timing, and a concrete plan, even if you're not listing yet. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe. We post new Montreal real estate strategies every week for sellers, buyers, and investors. Once again, I'm LJ Aguinaga, your Montreal real estate broker. Thanks for watching, and when you're ready to move, we'll make sure your listing does too.